Hey y'all, this is Rayborn the Witch coming at you live from Femspiration 215, and I'm here today to give my fire signs an October 2020 love reading. So this is for my Aries, my Sagittarius, and my Leos. And this reading is all about sweet and savage aspects of love. So the ways that you can cultivate more love for yourself, and the ways that you need to assert better boundaries in order to bring love in, and also keep the things that you don't want out, right? So happy Aries full moon that just passed yesterday. I'm feeling the energy of this month and the Libra season that's we're currently in. It's going to be a month of romantic things happening. I think that specifically for fire signs, I know for water signs, it's going to be a month of really kind of coming into your own around what you want for the future in terms of love. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the 4 songs that I picked up and tapped into your energy with. Then I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to leave a timestamp for when the reading starts. So if you want to jump to that, you can go ahead and go to the description box. The description box is also where all of my information about me as a witch, as a tarot reader, as a magic maker, and the ways that you can access me on other platforms. And if you want personal readings, there's information on that down below as well. The main thing around this spread is that it's all about how to express love to yourself and how you are going to express love to others in return. So it's all this reciprocity, but within yourself, and the balance of that, and how you need to cultivate that for yourself to have healthy, exciting relationships with other people. So the first song that I got was Land of Promise, and this is by Damian Marley and Nas. This song is all about leading to the promised land and all the things that await you in the promised land. It's a lot of work, but if you have somebody by your side to go with it, to go into it with, it makes it a lot more enjoyable a process that you're building this future for yourself and the people that you love and care about and beyond, right? And I also know that there's been a lot of grand risings. There's been a lot of people, specifically Black people, that are recognizing their royalty and the ways that they want to bring that back, and are finding partners that they are divine counterparts with to build this better future and this better life for themselves and beyond, right? The next song I got was Successful by Ariana Grande. I get a lot of Ariana Grande songs, especially around love, but this song was all about surprises. So there might be some surprises that await you in this month, or things that you want to prepare for another person to show them how much you care about them. And it talks about being successful and also being young. So there's this aspect of being young again, or feeling young, like you can do anything because of this love that you share with another person or want to express towards another person. The next song that I got was a song that is written by my friend Jakia, and it's called I Tried. And this song is an amazing song off of her album. She also has some of her songs featured on Amazon show that she just finished rapping from Atlanta. So it's really amazing that she's a Philly native, and she came through on my love reading, especially because this song talks about trying so hard to make a relationship work despite deceit, despite things that didn't work out, despite the lies, right? And really trying to make it work and not being able to. And saying, you know what, the ball isn't in my court anymore. It's in your court to fix it, because I've done all that I can do to make this relationship last and to make this relationship stronger, and you've repeatedly derailed it. So there might have been some people in your life that you've had relationships with that, for better or for worse, didn't come to the table bringing what they needed to in order to make it work, in order to communicate fairly, and instead went around it and tried to be maybe selfish in situations. So you feel this sense of depletion, you've done your best, you've given your all, and now it's up to the other person to make it right, and to fix the situation. If it is at fixing point, if it's not, then you're recognizing where you've given your all in relationships and where those things have maybe backfired in the past. So it has led you to this place of maybe being a little bit standoffish, but knowing that you are going to continue, especially my fire sign is going to continue to have their heart on their sleeves, because love is what keeps us alive and what keeps us motivated and what keeps us kind of playful a lot of times as well. the last song, which kind of like rounds us out here, is For My People by Missy Elliott featuring Eve, which is another Philly native. I love that I'm getting Philly songs with this. But this song is all about like just hitting the club, hitting the scene. It's what's the one thing it says? Show me some love, strip off your clothes and take off your socks, right? So it's all about like, you are going to give me what I want and what I demand now, because you know what? I'm fire and I'm hot and I'm going to go out and I'm going to play the field. So there is this aspect of you wanting to like move beyond any kind of frustration that you face and just like shake it out and just like have some fun. You maybe not have been having fun, especially when we're on lockdown. We just want to go out and dance, right? We can't. So there is that aspect of things, is just being like, I just want to move. I just want to like grind on somebody, and not being able to necessarily, but there is that like desire to want to go into that. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my spread now. And my spread is a heart shape, right? So this side is sweet and this side is savage. And each of the questions kind of lead us back into understanding how we can assert our boundaries with other people better. So the decks that I'm using are also listed down below. We're going to start with a Modern Witch Tarot deck, and we're going to ask the question, how do you currently express yourself in love? So how do my fire signs currently express themselves in love? Okay. Beautiful. I got 2 cards to go off of. The first one just came out right away, and this is the Queen of Swords. So this is definitely an energy I'm embodying, and I understand that like people are just like, you know what, I'm gonna be a straight shooter. I'm just gonna speak from the hip, speak with compassion, but also not mince my words. Whatever I say around what I feel and what I want to express needs to be heard and understood by others, because it's coming from a place of wisdom. It's coming from a place of divine guidance. I've learned, I've experienced, I have this awareness of what's around me and the energies that are around me and the energies that I'm picking up on. And I'm going to use that to kind of guide me forward. So I'm going to use my sword wisely, right? The next thing we get, which I love, is the Ace of Wands. So how you're expressing yourself in love currently is by doing new things. It's all about trying something different, trying something new. The Wands energy is the energy of innovation and the energy of excitement and empowerment, right? So we have this like desire to be passionate, but we want to be passionate towards something new versus something that's stagnant, old, not serving us well. So there's a need maybe sometimes with these 2 energies to watch what we say, because if we really want to cultivate that love with another person, we need to express ourselves in maybe a passionate way, but also understand that we can't come on too strong necessarily, specifically because we are coming from a place of asserting ourselves. And asserting our passion. So let's move forward from that. But that's how you're currently expressing yourself in love. Now, I have a Leo moon and a Leo rising, so I definitely can feel that energy coming from me. And I have been the Queen of Swords and been like, you know what, this isn't serving me, so I'm going to talk and speak on it. Or if you want to ask me a question, I'm going to answer it directly. And that's kind of the way we're expressing ourselves in love right now, because we're done giving ourselves and bypassing our needs in terms of love. So the next question is, how can my fire signs bring more love in? So how can my fire signs bring more love in? Let's see if I can get another card on that. I got the first card. It just flipped right out. It's my Aries card too. Ooh, okay. I'm going to take all 3. So the first one that we get is the Aries major arcana, the Fool. And this energy is all about taking a risk, of jumping in. How are you going to bring more love in? Well, you're going to take risks and try new things. And you're going to kind of like jump out and see what happens. You're not in it to hold yourself back anymore. You're done holding yourself back in love. You're done. You're ready to leap forward and to leap into something new and exciting, and to go on a new adventure, and to kind of like, be done with the past and actually move to something new. So that's kind of the energy that is going to help you bring love in, is that energy that of excitement, the energy of a childlike sense of wonderment, right? Like curiosity. What else is out there for me to explore? The next card we get is the 5 of Swords, and we get the Knight of Wands, which is also a card that my Cancerians got, and my Pisces and my Scorpios got, for the placement of how they're expressing themselves in love. So how you're going to bring more love in is you're going to try and not be as avoidant, right? Or be as combative in the way that you communicate, right? If you want to bring more love in, it's time for you to drop the winning at all cost attitude, because that's not going to lead anywhere good. That's only going to make people move away from you even further, or make you move away from yourself, because this card is kind of coming from a place of ego. And the reason I say that is because the next card we get in terms of how you're going to bring more love in is you have this card of the Knight of Wands. Now, the Knight of Wands is a knight. They are one of the fastest moving knights. Not the Knight of Swords is the fastest moving knight, but then we have this knight, and this knight is the second fastest. But this is also player energy. So maybe you're bringing love in right now by being a player, maybe playing the field, maybe kind of going back into your playing the game, so to speak. But we have to understand that we might be doing this from a place of ego, of a place of no, I'm going to hold the control here and I'm going to win above everybody else. I'm going to hold the swords, right? So we do need to understand that what we're giving out in terms of I know how to be a smooth operator isn't misconstrued by the people that we're trying to kind of move towards, right? So that's just what I get from those cards, but we are excited. We are wanting to move forward and jump into new things. Now, the next question is, how can you bring sexy back? So it's, how can my fire signs bring sexy back? Okay. How can my fire signs bring sexy back currently? Well, this card wanted to come out, so I'm going to take it. I love it. Okay, so the first thing we got the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords for how to bring sexy back is to make a choice, to move towards something that really does serve you. And if you look here, the person is blindfolded, but they can see without the blindfold. They don't need the blindfold in order to see. They're holding themselves back from truly expressing their emotions. We see the water behind them, but they do understand that there is a choice that needs to be made. And so in order to bring sexy back, there needs to be that you need to move in the right direction from a place of your heart, right? So there's this energy of guarding your heart and knowing what is best for your heart, but also there is a reluctancy to move towards it. So there's a need for you to maybe close out some cycles, but also recognize your blessings that you currently have. The reason why people feel excited and kind of are magnetic in this world is because they already feel like they are blessed. Now we have that vibration when we're putting that vibration out there, that vibration is going to come back to us. So there is this in this good fortune, kind of this wheel of fortune energy of us understanding that, you know what, we do need to make a choice and move on to something that's going to be better for us and going to bring us more abundance and more fortune. But we are fortunate to be able to even have this understanding of love in the first place. So I think that in order to bring new love in, we have to recognize that we have the wisdom to make the correct choices for ourselves. And we don't need to hold ourselves back so much from moving towards something that's really going to be deserving of us, right? So the next question, so we're rounding our heart out, and this heart's getting a little messy because I'm taking all the cards that jump out. So this heart is a little bit wonky at the moment, but I love that the sweet side has really given us a lot of information that we need to move us forward. Now the next card is going to come from the Super Attractor deck. Now this deck is all positive affirmations. And so for us to cultivate the love that we want to get from other people, we need to talk to ourselves in loving ways. So this deck gives us some kind of food for thought to move into with love and how we build relationships with other people. So this is for my fire signs. So I want to know, what sweet words can my fire signs tell themselves right now in order to attract love into their lives? So what sweet words can my fire signs, I love this. You ready? It says, the more I attune my energy with appreciation, the more the universe will deliver. Didn't I just say that with the Wheel of Fortune? Recognizing the good fortune that you already have is going to bring more good fortune into your life. The more grateful and gratitude that you express, the more other people are going to see you as a kind and loving person. And that is going to make you in turn fill your own cup and your own needs more, because you're going to be like, oh my God, I have so much that I have given to others, but I have so much that I have in return, and now I'm going to be able to give that to another person. So it's just this reciprocity of this month, right? So the more I attune my energy with appreciation, the more the universe will deliver. Screenshot that, baby. Screenshot that. Okay, so now we're moving on to the other half of the heart. And this other half of the heart is going to give us more of the savagery, more of the boundaries that we need to cultivate in order to help people understand what our needs are and help us to recognize our own needs. So the first question is going to come from the soul lesson journey cards. This is going to be a tougher question that we need to have an understanding of as we move in love, right? Because we are in a journey, or we want to go onto a new journey. So this is, what hard lessons are you learning in love? So what hard lessons are my fire signs learning in love right now? What hard lessons are my fire signs learning in love right now? Get one more shuffle on this one. What hard lessons are my fire signs learning in love right now? What hard lessons? Let's get a good card here. What hard lessons? Oh, yes. There we go. There we go. There we go. So the first card that jumped out at us is this fiery energy, right? It's the root chakra energy and the sacral chakra energy. So a lot about the reproductive system and your foundations. And it says denial. It says, I acknowledge my fear, but I replace it with insight and awareness. So that card that I gave you right here for like what things that you need to understand about how to bring sexy back, and you got this Two of Swords energy, that can also be a state of denial, right? That we are going to be blinding ourselves to the actual options that are available to us and the actual choices that we need to make in order to have the love that we deserve. So the denial card really asks us to address our fears around love. It asks us to not deny ourselves because of fear anymore, that we need to replace that with insight and awareness that we have learned a lot of lessons in order to move forward successfully, but we need to like integrate those into ourselves. We need to actually believe in ourselves and in this wisdom that we have achieved through interacting with different people in relationships, right? The next card that we get is all the crown chakra energy. It's all coming from up here in your thoughts, and it's discipline. And it says, I can accomplish what I set my mind to. So there is this understanding that we need to kind of get out of the chaos of the fear, and we need to hone in on what really is going to push us forward. We need to hone in on the target. We have the Sagittarius energy of the target. We need to set our sights on a target so that we can move forward successfully. My Aries energy, you are the ram, right? So what kind of walls of fear do you need to ram through in order to cultivate this discipline for yourself so that you can free yourself from any kind of energies that are preventing you from moving forward successfully in love? And for my, and then for my Leos, like we have to think about like, we're like the life of the party, right? So we need to kind of bring it back in and put our action towards our creative passions and our pursuits that are going to bring us forward. So there's a lot of energy that can flow between those things, but those are the hard lessons that we need to learn in order to move forward successfully in love. And I love that, because that is really like breaking free means that we have to cut the BS in our own selves and our own story, and we need to move forward with discipline and with courage. So the next question is going to come back with the Modern Witch Tarot deck. And this is going to be, where do I need to assert better boundaries in love? Where do my fire signs need to assert better boundaries in love? Where do my fire? Okay, beautiful. Now we have Two Pentacles cards, and this one is all about discipline. So this is the Eight of Pentacles. So how do we need to assert our better boundaries in love? By recognizing that we are trying to build things for ourselves and for our own future, and that we sometimes are going to be concentrated on that, and we aren't going to be able to give the love that we truly want to another person because we're working on our own shit. Now, that's not to say that we don't love the person, but it also means that we are trying to like really put our nose to the grindstone and build something so that we can stand on it and feel confident in it and have that self-worth and that sense of accomplishment. And the next card is the Ace of Pentacles. And how do we need to assert better boundaries in love? Well, we need to recognize our worth and what we bring to the table. We need to recognize that we have something of value, of stability to offer, but we're not going to be able to offer that stability to another person until we have our stability within ourselves, until we build a better foundation, a better sense of discipline within ourselves to accomplish our own goals. That's going to show how much we value ourselves and how much we then can say, you know what, that I see that in myself. I now know how I'm mirroring that to another person, or how that person is inspiring me to do the same thing. So there's this offer being given, but it can't be given until you offer and appreciate the time that you need for yourself. If that makes any sense. I'm channeling, so sometimes I flub my words, but you know what I'm trying to say. And if you don't, I'm sorry. Okay, so the next question is, what assets do you need to utilize the most in love right now? So in this month, what are the assets that you need to kind of bring to the forefront? Things that you might not have been bringing to the forefront. Maybe certain aspects of yourself that you might not think you have. So what are some assets that the fire signs need to bring to the table in love the most right now? What are some assets that the fire signs need to utilize in order to bring in love right now? Oh my gosh, I love this so much. We've got two. We've got two very powerful cards of love and of soul connections and of soulmates. So the first thing we have is, what asset do you need to utilize the most in love right now? Well, you need to utilize the asset of understanding that whatever connections that you currently do have been divinely guided to you to learn a lesson, for you to find your counterpart, for you to grow and move forward successfully with that person, understanding that you have angelic guidance in order to do that. I do believe in angelic guidance, because when I was preparing for this reading, I just got shivers the whole entire time I was lighting my candles. The love is around and it's hugging me. And I know that that message is really important for a lot of my fire signs to understand, is that you are moving towards people that are divinely guided to you to teach you lessons and also help you become a better, higher version of yourself. And sometimes you need to also understand that the asset that you need to utilize the most in love right now is cultivating a relationship with your own higher self, and understanding that those messages that you've been given to move in certain directions were messages from your higher self and the angels as well that are around you that are moving forward. But this is a really important thing to understand, is we're in a time period right now where a lot of people are being divinely guided towards partners that are going to make a better world for other people. And that's something that we can start to believe in. Okay, the next card we get is definitely the Leo card, right? So this is the Sun card, right? And this is also that sense of freedom, of the sense of I have accomplished so much. It's also moving away from denial. So you're seeing the light. Right? The Sun card is all about shedding light on the truth. But from that, you have this immense happiness and joy because you're finally seeing things clearly. You're seeing things for how they're supposed to be seen, instead of putting yourself in a state of denial where, you know what, this isn't the right thing. This isn't what I need. This isn't what I need. And then you're also like, oh my God, though, this is right here in front of me. Oh my God, this person is right in front of me. I need to understand that my assets right now is that I have moved with divine guidance without even realizing it towards somebody that is truly meant to be for me. So that is what I get for those two cards there. And the last thing, I gave you a lot of shivers right there. The last thing, and this is a really important question, right? How do you want love to be given to you right now? So how do my fire signs want love to be given to them right now? How do my fire signs want love to be given to them right now? I'm going to take these two cards right here. You ready? So the first one, how do you want love to be given to you right now? Well, you want love to be given to you as a joyous celebration, as a reunion, as coming together to celebrate good times. There's 3 people in this mix, right? So there is some level of third-party energy. So maybe some of you want to have your cake and eat it too. But for the most and the majority, you are also recognizing who the Empress is in your life, or the Emperor, right? The Empress is the queen, right? Who's the queen of your castle? How do they inspire love for you? And also, we think about the Empress as this ruled by Venus, and Libra season, and Libras are ruled by Venus. So there is this Venusian energy and this sense of like luxuriating, of like, I want to have all the creature comforts around me. I want to have the fun and the exuberance around me, and to feel like I can go out with my person and feel like we can be the life of the party together, but also that I'm coming home and that I'm being loved and nurtured by a queen, by all the queens put together, which is the Empress, right? So how you want love to be given to you right now? Maybe you want to be treated like a king or a queen, and you want to be catered to, but you also want to feel reciprocated in that as well. So that is my love reading for my fire signs. It seems like you have a lot of surprises that are in store for you this month. Check out the description box below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate you watching. I love my subscribers that I currently have. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to sharing anything with you in the near future. Have a great day.